Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonia Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How was your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going.
Woo!
How's your life going?
It's great.
Damn, Struggle City on the intro. Make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. When you guys go to our website, you'll see all the ways that you can follow the podcast, follow our social media. You can follow our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can watch the podcast on Facebook and YouTube. You can listen to the podcast on any podcast app. And the best thing you guys can do to help out the podcast is to share it with people that you know. On YouTube, we put up some clips, and we're going to be making a separate channel for clips that we make. And so you guys can look out for that and subscribe to that and then share clips from that channel to people that you know.
There you go. So this is episode what?
Like 235, 6?
236. And I don't know what happened, but I forgot the intro. We had to restart the podcast like 3 times.
You just had a blank.
Yeah, I don't know if this energy.
What's in your Zip Fizz?
Right?
That looks funky.
It does. It tastes good though. It's
Yeah.
good. I actually enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah. Anyways, so we were going to jump in the pool and then record later, and I'm like, you know what? Let's record now so we can get it out of the way, and then we can enjoy each other
The rest of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So earlier today, we recorded a podcast.
yes.
We recorded a
We
podcast
did.
with a friend of ours, BNS, that
Yes,
you
from
met in India.
Yep, Mumbai, India.
Yep, and then we did a video call with BNS few weeks back or whatever, and talked about him being on the podcast, and we recorded that show today. It was an awesome show. He has some really great channels on YouTube. He has over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, and you guys can check him out. He's got a channel called Hero BNS and BNS Goku Great, which Goku is like the Dragon Ball Z Goku, GOKU, BNS, Goku Great. But you can find them on YouTube.
Yes.
He's interviewed like Les Brown.
Yes.
He's interviewed Wim Hof.
And
Iana Van Zant,
Yes.
who's been on
Oprah.
like she's had her channel on Oprah.
Yes. On phone.
He's interviewed all kinds of like crazy.
Yes.
He's got one of the biggest channels in India.
Yes. And what I absolutely love about him is he is so down to earth.
Yeah.
We shared how we met on the podcast, and you know, when you meet someone and that someone is, I say, supposed to be in your life, it's almost like meeting an old friend, because that's how it feels with him. Like,
Yeah, somebody that you connect with right away.
right. Yeah. So you guys definitely take a listen to that podcast. And those of you that are looking to grow a YouTube channel, he gave some tips on how to do that. So.
Yeah, he got to 100,000 subscribers, he said, in like 48 days.
Yes.
Freaking crazy.
Yes,
Yeah. And he gave us some
absolutely
tips that
amazing.
we're going to implement.
For sure.
So, yeah.
So today, Audrey.
So don't miss the next episode.
Yes. Audrey and I went to the gym. And when her and I were working out, I decided that I was going to go hardcore today.
Okay.
Right? Because normally I do boxing, kickboxing, but I
Right.
haven't been lifting like I normally do. And so today I decided today's going to be leg day. And so I also did some jump roping. But while I was working out with her, I noticed that she has that. I've noticed for a while though, but I don't know what you call it, desire, or, you know, when she's feeling uncomfortable or she's feeling pain, she continues to push through. Like, I took some pictures. I'm like, girl, you look like you're about to take a crap.
Yeah.
She was pushing like so hard.
Dude, that sometimes I think about that too. Like when I'm working out, I'm like, I know I'm making some ugly fucking faces right now. You know?
Yeah. And
It
I'm
is what
vocal.
it is, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm vocal. Like when I work out, I am not shy at all. So when I'm working out, like I'm grunting.
Yeah,
right?
me
I'm
too.
breathing through.
I'll be grunting like,
Shut up.
That's me.
We're going to talk about that a little later on, but and yeah, she was just pushing through.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And just she's so willing to learn and willing to do.
Yeah.
And not give up when it
starts getting difficult.
Yes.
That's great.
You know, and so I see a lot of you in her.
You have that too, though.
I do. But I feel that you have it. You're more intense. And I think she takes after you with that. And maybe it's just because now I'm so zen. I'm just so calm.
Yeah.
But like today, no, for sure. I was pushing myself.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit since I've worked out heavy. And today was that day. And so the first thing I did when I got home was tell Miguel, I'm not going to be able to walk.
Yeah.
And we worked out on our calves. So that's even worse because I'm not going to be able to sit on the toilet. So you're going to have to help me.
I'll help you. Oh, man.
But it's great to see that within her, you know?
Yeah, that is awesome. And while you guys went to the gym, I was working out with Joey here at the house. And I put a brisket on the barbecue. And, we had the podcast this morning. And it's been busy. It's been like a lot of things going on. But it's been good.
Yeah, it's all growth, right? That. And we've talked, you guys already know this. You guys been watching this. But there's times where you backtrack, right? Where you backtrack like, okay, we got our goals in place. We're going to start working out. We're going to start eating healthy. We're going to start doing this, doing that. And we get there. And then it's like a new cycle. It's like, okay, well, we stop doing the thing
that got us there.
Yep. And then we start backtracking and then we get back on it again. Now, what I've noticed is that for us, it's easy. It's challenging to make the decision to get back on track.
And there's a lot of times where the decision is kind of made,
right,
but not really.
Right. Like it's a
good, no, you know what it is?
Sounds good.
It's a good intention.
Yes.
That's what it is.
There you go. Yes, but it's not like a solid decision.
Yeah, right.
Yes, because when you and I make solid decisions,
then things change.
Shit happens.
Right.
Right. And I noticed that, we are leading by example. We are leading our family.
Yeah.
And when we eat bad, our children eat bad.
Right.
Audrey, I haven't noticed the shift in her because that girl is in sports. So she's constantly active.
Right. Yeah.
But Joey is in jiu-jitsu and is not really outside of jiu-jitsu, he's not into sports yet.
Right. Yep. And yeah, that's important.
And so we noticed, Joey,
maybe when he when he gets into junior high, it's going to be like, well, it's not like you have this is the sport you have to play, but you need to pick a sport.
Yes.
And try it. I don't know.
It's very important.
Because
I feel,
it is important.
Have your kids in sports, as BNS mentioned.
Right.
In
the
our
podcast. Which you guys will have to check out next week, coming out next Sunday.
Yeah,
Hold up, let me get the date.
That it teaches them how to lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And gives them appreciation for when they win. And the growth happens during the time that they lose.
Right.
Right? Learning the lesson. That's where the growth is in life with everything. So we noticed that Joey he has gained some weight. So we were talking as a family at the dinner table. And it is on us on what we cook. And we've been cooking healthy, right? Chicken, we have vegetables and we'll have a starch. Now the thing is that Joey loves
We all love.
seconds.
Well, yeah.
He loves carbs. We all do.
Right.
Right? And so we decided that, okay, we will not be getting seconds.
Yeah. It's just not overdoing it.
And Joey did not like that. And so we ended up bringing up, so Joey and Miguel started working out together, and they took before pictures, right?
Yeah.
And I had asked Joey if he gotten a chance to look at his photo. And he said, why would I do that? To
make myself feel bad.
myself feel bad. And me being zen and just the way I am, I was like, well, you're right. But then I started to look at things and it's like,
how does that help him?
If it makes him feel bad to look at that picture, then obviously he's not sitting well with this extra weight that he's put on.
Yeah.
Right? And then I started to think, well, can you be happy, like truly happy, if you're overweight?
Yeah.
And then you and I started to talk and started to reflect on when we were that.
Which we also talked to BNS about.
And you can be happy at that because we were happy. We had a great family, right? We were doing well.
So I think you can be as happy as you can be at that point. Because really, I mean, I understand what you're saying, because you can have the family and the friends and the love. But there is a part of it that health has to do with. And I mean, maybe it's even just being able to hike into some places that, like we do. Mm-hmm. We actually, last weekend, we were in Flagstaff, and it wasn't, you know what, like when we got to this, it was called Walnut Creek National Monument. Mm-hmm. And they have like ancient ruins of people that used to live there 900 years ago. And it's in the canyons up in Flagstaff. And when you're going to check this out, there's like these big like series of just staircases going down into the canyon to go check out where these people lived. Mm-hmm. And it's not, when you get there, you're being warned, like take water, and there's a lot of steps and this and that. Like people, like they have emergencies getting people out of there.
Right.
Now, the thing is that for real, if you're in okay shape, you're not going to have problems with that place. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're in okay shape. Mm-hmm. And being able to go into places like that with your family, go camping, go check out some, like just, it is like, it's like magical stuff. Like when you see a waterfall in a place, to be able to hike in with your family and be the only people there and just hang out.
Right.
But health has to do with that, and just being around longer for your family.
Right. And so when I realized, when Joey said, why, so I can feel bad about myself, I realized right there and then that he's not happy where he's at. And if you're not happy where you're at, then that's every reason why we need to get back to being healthy.
Right.
And it's not so much about the image, right? It's not so much about the image, but it's about being healthy. And I think that's where a lot of times us parents, when we see our children gaining weight, or even someone else, significant other or whatever, it's like, man, you got fat.
Yeah.
Which is more of like a image thing. It's not like, man, like how, like health.
What's going on?
Yeah. Like, you know, exactly. You know, because I think that if the conversation starts there, like, I'm a little worried about you. I see that you've put on, some weight. Like, how is have you been able to keep up with the other kids? How is everything going? And you know what I'm saying? To get him to see that the important aspect of it is his health.
Yeah.
And educating him on that. Like, being overweight causes high blood pressure. Being overweight causes. What?
Yeah, and for something like for Joey, because he's like so worried about dying and death.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, that shit will give you a heart attack and you're dead.
Well,
then he's gonna be a psycho getting in shape.
Yeah, you don't want to fear.
Maybe maybe that's better.
You don't want to come from.
So we
fear.
have our plan. This is what we're doing.
No, you don't want to put fear into the. It's educating.
We
them.
figured it out.
Oh my God.
We're gonna put it in our book. First, you scare them with the thought of death, and then you tell them if you don't eat this, if you don't eat the green shit, you're gonna die.
Yeah, but I think that the better approach is coming from a place of concern.
Yeah.
And health, and talking about health and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because
Joey, like you said, is fearful. But if you come at him like that, forget about it. We don't want him to go bulimic.
Right. Yeah. you know, something that we were talking to BNS about, which it kind of like gave us this.
It was huge.
Like realization.
It was like
Joey.
a light bulb went off.
And
huge light bulb.
I talked to him today while we were working out.
Good.
And I was talking to him about because Joey, it's crazy because I have kind of the same feelings that he has to a certain point. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point I get sick. I just get fucking sick of myself.
Okay. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
Yes.
I get sick of being a fucking fat shit. I get sick of being lazy and not fucking doing the things that I know that I can do. That's why, like I was thinking about earlier, our next episode with BNS is we talk a lot about human potential, which you guys will have to check out next week. But when I went to that tournament in last year, and you guys were a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I lost. Like I lost the first one that I had done at Blue Belt. And I lost actually I watched the video and I didn't lose the way I thought I lost. I didn't lose the way I felt I had lost. But even still, the way I was acting when I lost, you guys, and I still don't feel any different about it. You guys were kind of like, well, shit, like your kids are watching you and you're kind of throwing a fucking fit.
Yeah.
But there is a real fucking reason behind it. Because a lot of people don't believe, like truly. And I fucking do. I truly believe, and I know I can see what I'm capable of. And I was nowhere fucking near it that day. That's why I was so fucking disappointed in myself. That's what was coming out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But when Joey, we have a challenge with him not being okay with, like, he's a sore loser.
But
right?
Just like the other day, we were talking to him about his activity and rating his activity level for the day. Right? Mm-hmm. That day at that tournament was an example of me not bullshitting myself. Not saying, well, at least you competed. Right? Because I could say that. Mm-hmm. How many people compete in jiu-jitsu? Not many.
Right.
So at least you competed. Fuck that. Fuck that. That is not me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't just compete. That's the difference. And when I didn't live up to that, that's why I was so, like, disappointed.
Yes.
In myself.
And once you explained that to him, then he understood. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he didn't know that. Nobody knew that.
Right.
You know?
But so what I was talking to Joey today when we were working out, it was we had talked to BNS about saying I can't
Yes.
versus I won't.
Right.
Because so many times like we'll talk to Joey about something, he's like, I can't do that. Go take out the trash when it's dark. I can't. Or go like, let's do this workout. Let's do 50 of them. I can't. Let's do this. I can't. And it's like, you know what? I know that you've been out there and thrown out the trash in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that you can't? Like I was asking him, I was like, so is it that you can't because you've done it?
Or that you don't want to?
It's that you don't want to. So don't say that I can't. Say that I won't. Because that is the truth. The truth is you can, but you just won't do it.
Right.
And then maybe little by little, you'll hear yourself saying, I won't. I won't. And that is something that you can control.
Or I don't want to. You know, well, he can't say that. But
well,
like
it's like,
we asked him to take out the trash. I don't want to.
Well,
I understand you don't want to, but this is your chore. You got to do it, right?
Well, you know what? It's like, there's one thing. It's like, I can't become an astronaut. I mean, I won't become an astronaut. I could fucking go crazy, like really fucking crazy, and try to figure out a path to maybe, and then they'd be like, no, you still can't qualify. And I'd be like, how can I get a fucking waiver? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll still try to do it. But I won't because I don't want to.
Right. Right.
Now, I can't be 6'4".
Yeah.
I can't.
Pay attention. This is the awareness. When you pay attention to what you say and how your body responds to it. When you say I can't versus I won't, there's a certain energy that flows within your body.
Yeah. And then it's even more different when it's something difficult and you start thinking, how can I? How can I? How can I? How can I be a fucking astronaut at 40? Is that even fucking possible? Let's look it up.
Right.
I don't know. Fuck no, I'm not looking that up.
I feel that a lot of times, even you and I, when it comes to working with Audrey and Joey, or we ask them to do something, or maybe it's homework, whatever it is, and they ask us a question, and it's just so normal for us to give them the answer.
Yeah.
Versus
that's a big issue.
Asking them, well, what do you think you should do? Or how do you think you can fix that? Or how, you know, like helping them to find the solution, because it takes more energy to do that than just giving them the answer. Do you understand?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Yes.
So, man, that kind of leads into something that might, I mean, it's going to take a little bit.
Is it still with parenting? Because okay.
Yeah. So yesterday, there was a lot going on, right? And so for one, I had to get the shower. Like Audrey's shower in her bedroom has just been leaking, like just dripping, right? And it's one of those things that you have to fix it because it's literally just money going down the drain.
Right.
It's like drip, drip, drip. You know, like at first it's like, all right, it's not dripping that bad. It's like one drip.
And then it's
one
like
drip.
Drip, drip.
Now it's like drip,
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 drip.
drip, drip, drip. I'm like, fuck, I gotta fix it. You know, so it was like, okay. And I YouTube, like the same shit that I always do. I YouTube video. I'm like, all right. So you unscrew this thing, pop the cartridge out, put the new one in, unscrew it back in, put it together. We're fucking done.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so easy after 20 years that this thing's been sitting there. So now it turns out I have to get a saw and cut this thing out of there. So now this thing, but my I wouldn't say expectations, but my plan, this was my plan, is that I'm going to change this shower head thing. You've been asking me to put these freaking tables together for I don't know how long. And I want to put them together. And I don't really want to put them together. I want Joey to put them together. Right? That's why it's more than anything. Because I just fucking put them together myself in 2 minutes and be done with it. But I want Joey to put it together. And so I have to find the time where me and him are both like able to put it together. So it's just been, I haven't done it. So my plan was fix the shower, put the tables together. You've been asking me to put some hooks up for some plants. And that's been forever, and I haven't gotten around to it. So I was going to do that. And then I wanted to barbecue this piece of meat that I've had in the fridge for I don't know how long. And it's like a brisket. It's a nice piece of meat. So I got to get it prepared. Yeah, so these are all the things, right? Thanks, babe. You know, I'm more than just a piece of meat. But so like these are all the things that I have. Oh, and more important than just about all of this shit, maybe except for the shower, because that's number one right there, is I got to get a fucking workout in because I'm training for stuff. And the worst part is that I'm training and I can't even train. Right. Because I have this freaking rash on my arm. First I hurt my shoulder, then I get sick, then I get a rash, then I hurt my toe. Then it's just that's how it goes. Yes. That's how it goes. Yes. And yeah, so just doing the shower, which was supposed to be quick, went fucking south. Now I'm sitting there sawing this thing. And then Joey comes in and I can tell like how this is going to go. And then I start actually thinking about it. I'm like, this is a 20-year-old shower. Yes. I'm glad that I'm smart enough to know not to force it and just snap the whole fucking thing off. I thought about that. Yeah. Because if you don't know any better, you fucking crank it and just snap the whole shit off, and now you're calling a plumber. And now you don't want to see me when that happens because I lose my shit. But at least at that point I was smart enough to know don't do that. So now I'm cutting it and I was like, you know what? Joey comes in at one point and I'm like, guess what, Joe? He's like, what? I was like, today I get the opportunity to work on my patience.
So good.
Oh, I was like, dude, I had plans for all of this stuff. I was like, but you know what? I was like, more than anything, the one thing that for me is the most important right now is working out. And this day is just going by because I keep having problems with this fucking shower. And I'm going back and forth to the store. It's one of those projects that you're just going back and forth to. I went to the fucking store like 5 times. Aww. You know? And like I got the cartridge and then I was like, maybe I didn't get the right one. Then I cut the ring off. They don't have the ring. So I have to go look for some other shit back and forth. So it's getting later in the day. And now I'm noticing that the later it gets, the workout's probably not going to happen because now the whole thing is apart. The nut is off. I have to get this thing fixed or else we can't turn the water back on. Right. So now I'm coming to terms with the fact that the workout is just not going to fucking happen. And I was like, okay, it is what it is. I'm still going to do as much as I can today. But the workout's just not, I can't do that. Tomorrow is another day. And I'm going to fucking kick my ass tomorrow because I missed my workout today. And I talked to Joey. And I was like, you know what? Priority number 1 is to fix the shower. I was like, but I think I was like, the other thing is that it sucks that I didn't get to do this. But there's also a lesson. Why do people wake up early in the morning and work out? It's so that nothing gets in the way of what's important to them.
So true. Mm-hmm.
I told Joey, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Wake up early, get that fucking piece of meat on the grill, and get my workout in. First thing in the morning. That didn't fucking happen. Because that's how life goes. I was ready to do that shit too.
Aw. So I have to tell you this. I had no idea. So while Miguel is doing this, I'm with the kids. And they wanted to go to some stores, so I'm out there with them. And I had no idea that you took so many trips.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I went to Lowe's twice. I think I went to Home Depot twice at least.
I am so proud of you.
That I didn't fucking flip out on anybody.
I came home and I knew that you were struggling with that. Not struggling, but I knew that things happened that you weren't expecting to happen.
But when she saw me, I was a samurai.
Yes. Like, I didn't feel, because I'm very sensitive to energy. I can, when someone, I just pick up on those things. And I knew, like, you weren't, you
I
were a
wasn't
bit
happy about what was
disappointed
happening
because of the workout and stuff. But you weren't kicking the dog or slamming our heads into the front. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
But I had no idea that, yeah, you went through all of that yesterday.
And then, yeah, because at a certain point, I had already been to the store a few times. And, like, Joey was around the house. And I'm like, hey, let's go. Like, come with me. Let's go to the store and pick up the stuff. And that's what I was talking to him about on the way back and forth from the store.
See, I didn't know that you had that conversation with him. I think that with
I've been
everything,
saving it for you guys on the podcast.
With everything, I feel that that's the most important thing for us to do. It's truly leading by example. Him seeing.
I told Joey when he came into the bathroom, I was like, guess what, Joe? I was like, I get an opportunity to not lose my freaking mind. You know, I started that. He's like, oh, geez. And I was like, because nothing is working the way I wanted it to work. Yes. And he starts like, he's like, oh, I was like, you know, and I just start joking with him. I was like, but dude, it is what it is.
Yeah. You have, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
You have grown so much. And it's just peaceful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it brings peace into the home. Yes. So with Joey, I think having that conversation with him and us just continuing to lead by example is going to help him to recognize the things that need to shift within himself, because we're being that vulnerable. We are speaking from a place of understanding and also letting him know that we too go through challenges.
Right.
It's not easy. And with him, he looks up to you so much.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's just, and you are so psycho. Now, when you make a decision, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can push yourself to no end. And he sees that about you. Like daddy doesn't make mistakes. Daddy has everything together. And my dad is very strong and he is very, do you understand? So when you do have these challenges, it is so good to speak to him so that he sees, oh, my dad struggles too with this.
Yeah. There's something that I need to talk to him about. And something that I can share here, because I have made progress recently. Yes. And there is something that I was talking to Joey, because you were mentioning the pictures that we took. We took those pictures March 15th. Mm-hmm. After we went to jiu-jitsu, we had our shirts off and we took some pictures together. And that was going to be the start of our journey to getting healthy in our transformation. You know, everybody does that kind of stuff. And but But before we get into that, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you go to our website, you can find all the ways to follow the podcast. You can follow us on Spotify, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. And you can watch the podcast on Facebook, on YouTube. You can listen to it on all the podcast apps. Like we said, we're going to be making a clip channel. But either way, whatever clips that we have a playlist with all the clips in it. And if you have a clip that you like, you can share it with somebody that you know. If there's something that resonated with you or helped you out and you think it might help out somebody else, share it with them and tell them to subscribe and like and comment and all that kind of stuff, because that's what helps us out.
Yes, yes.
And also, when you go to our website and you click the Support the Show tab, go to oppositesattractpodcast.com, click the Support the Show tab at the top. That'll take you to our Amazon link. And whenever you're shopping on Amazon, just put everything in the cart, click on that link, go to our website, click on that link, and then just check out. And it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps out the show.
Yes, yes. And if you would like to support us in a different manner, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. And what that does is gets us a virtual drink.
Yep. You can get us a virtual coffee, virtual drink, and you can subscribe on a monthly basis and support the show. Yes. So it's just another way to help us out.
Thank you.
Yep. We appreciate it. And so we were talking about the pictures that we took. And so when was it? When was it that I was talking to Joey? I think we were upstairs in the bedroom, and I was just like, "Hey Joe, you remember those pictures that we took together?" And like I said, it was March 15th, and we had just got back from jiu-jitsu. We took our shirts off, and it was like one of those points, because there was something in that book, The Power of Now, that you read to me, and you said that there are these moments in your life where, I don't know if it's like you're stagnant, or it seems like
cycles,
or it seems like you're going down.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the different cycles that we go through.
And depending on what you do when you're headed in the downward cycle,
right,
determines what's going to happen through that downward cycle, pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I haven't read the book actually, but I don't know if that's what they meant or if that's what they said. But
it's like you go through cycles in your life where you're winning,
right, and
then where you're just like kind of stagnant, where you're just kind of going with the flow. That's what it is, right? Like yes. What?
So for the samurais out there, it's when you're on the path.
Yes.
And when you stray away from the path.
Yes.
Right? So you get these feelings like, it's like, it's been a while since I've done this. It's been a while since I've done this. It's the things that you know are good for you, right? And I've done too much of this. I've been doing too much of whatever.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see the effects of that. And it's like, now it's time to change. Mm-hmm. So it was one of those moments. And we could see that it was time to change. So when we got home, we took our shirts off and we stood in front of the mirror and we took pictures of ourselves from the front, from the sides, and we're both like flexing, and you can see all the fat and everything. So, but the cool thing is that is the start,
right?
And since that point, I can say like I didn't start out completely just on it. But what happens is, you make a decision and then you do something. I signed up for a tournament. I've talked a lot of shit. And at a certain point, you're either like, it sounds so fucking cliche, but you're either about that life or you're fucking not.
Yeah.
And I don't just talk shit. Yeah. So I signed up, and I think even at the point that I signed up, it's like, I'm not ready yet.
Mm-hmm. But I'm doing this because.
But I'm going to get ready.
Yes.
And then guess what? I signed up for the other one. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm ready yet, but I'm getting ready. And so yesterday I showed the pictures to Joe, and I told him, I was like, that was when we started. And for the last, I don't know how long, because I can't even tell, because kind of like Audrey, you were saying that when she starts working out, like maybe she starts out slow, but once she starts getting into it and once she starts feeling the pressure, she like leans into it.
Yes.
And she pushes.
Yes, she does.
Right? And I think I have that. Like I don't I don't want to start working out and like it's the first 30. Like I do this workout where I do 100 of these Navy SEAL burpees. And pretty much doing 100 burpees is like doing 300 push-ups with like some other shit mixed in between. And but like the first 30, like 20 or 30 fucking suck. And then you just kind of get into it. And then at a certain point it's like, this sucks, but I got this shit.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of how Audrey is, right?
Yes.
And I told Joey, I was like, I didn't start like all the way in, but I've made changes over time. And you can see that I've been disciplined over time. And like now before you wouldn't see me working out as much. Now you see me like you'll be walking downstairs and I'm hanging off the pull-up bar. You know? You walk into the kitchen and I'm laying on the floor doing fucking crunches or some shit.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, now I'm after, I don't know how, I mean, March 15th was when we took the pictures. Now I'm starting to see some changes. Mm-hmm. Like I can see it. And
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yes. So Miguel always talks about how, you know, he's doing really well in his cardio. And
no, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You know, like how you push yourself during cardio and, you know, that your stamina and all this other stuff. And I just didn't quite believe him until the other night.
Yeah. Thanks, baby.
I'm like, you know, all that shit you've been
That's
talking.
Just been working.
Right? You remember all that shit you're talking about? You know, this and this and that. He has his heart rate monitor on and all this other stuff. I said, you know, I want to see how much more stamina you do have.
It's been working.
And it's been working.
Yeah. But we can talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so I was telling Joey and I was like, dude, and you know what's cool though? Is I was like, in the beginning it's hard. It's hard. Yes. It sucks because that's when it hurt. That's when it hurts the most.
Right.
Because you haven't been sore in a while.
Yep.
And you're sore to where you feel like you should have a 6-pack. Right? Yeah. But you don't have one. And you look in the mirror like, this shit ain't working. But the thing is that if you do it March, April, May, it's the beginning of June. So what, 2.5 months? 2.5 months, and that's fucking crazy. Like I can already see the changes. Yeah. And what I told Joey, and it's not like it's huge changes. There's some decent changes, you know, just in my stomach and my arms. I've probably lost maybe like 15 pounds. But what I told Joey is that now it still sucks to work out. But there's almost like a different motivation because now I'm on a roll. Mm-hmm. And now I do like seeing the changes that I'm making. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of cool. And I've always said that I don't like working out.
Right.
I don't like fighting. I don't know if that's true. Because I can see how you can get into like, wow, I'm progressing. I can actually see it. But you have to get past the fucking shitty part.
Right.
Same thing with jiu-jitsu. When you fucking quit for 6 months, you're a fucking blue belt. This has happened to me a couple times. And you're getting your ass beat by white belts.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like you're a fake ass blue belt almost. Mm-hmm. And guess what? You'll never make it to the next level if you don't go through the fake ass blue belt, getting your fucking ass beat by white belt part, work your ass off, and get to the fucking point to where you earn your shit.
Yes. I wrote this down. This is not to make you feel better. It's to help you become better.
Yeah.
You know, just everything in life. It's speaking to the kids and being too soft with them.
Right.
Or being too soft with yourself. Right. Putting yourself through the ringer so you can become that individual. It's who you become on the way. It's the journey in between.
Right.
I was talking to Joey the other day. We were reading. We ended up hiring a tutor for him. Joey's been fighting us forever since he started reading. It's not something that he likes to do. It's just never been. And we've tried so many different things, buying him books that he's interested in. Just, it's always a constant struggle. So much energy just trying to get him to read, to do the thing.
Yeah.
And I had to have a conversation with him. I'm like, dude, you're in 5th grade and you're struggling. I said, why do you think you're struggling? Because I don't like to read. Have you ever liked to read? No. The reason why you're struggling today was because when you first started to read, you gave up before you even started.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be great.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
And the only way to lose is to quit.
But the truth is he's read before. So it's I won't.
Right. Right. You know, but bringing that to him, like everything is going to be difficult at the beginning. Working out, it's going to be difficult.
It's like he comes up to a big word and it's like, I can't. And it's like, dude, have you ever read a big word before? Because I know, and you know, that there's times when he's reading and he'll be reading nonstop and it's like, dude, you read that? You read that word?
Yes.
So it's not I can't.
That's right.
Because you can try.
Yes. And when we realized that, it was because we bought him a transformer to motivate him. And we were going to give it to him once he finished the book.
Yeah.
Right? And it took him forever to finish the book until he actually made the decision. I'm reading this book, and in 2 days it was read.
2 days.
In 2 days the book was completed.
And we talked to him about that. But just like we were talking about earlier, how many times did we make a decision that we were going to get in shape?
Right.
That we were going to get healthy? That this was the end? How many times did for you guys that have listened to this podcast over the last couple years, have we said, this is it? Right? Because we've talked a lot of shit.
And we do, but then we fall back.
But the thing is that at a certain point, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
But I think what we have to understand, like we always forget this shit. You're going to suffer no matter what, which we talk about with BNS. Next week, make sure you guys check out that podcast. But it's one of his best videos, Hero BNS. Go subscribe. But we don't want to work out because we don't want to suffer. It fucking hurts when you're sore. It hurts to push yourself. Guess what also fucking hurts? When you're sick, when you can't get up.
Yeah. You're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay for it.
Either today, you're going to pay for it now, or later when you're 80 years old or 70 years old and you're paying for all those prescriptions and medical bills because you were unhealthy, because of the decisions you made early on.
Right.
We all pay for it. And when you learn that life is unfair.
Yeah.
What is it? As soon as you'll
be happier.
Give in that life is unfair, you'll be happier.
Yeah.
Right? It's just
that's another
giving in.
Yeah. That's another video that we shared with Joey just about life being unfair.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, yeah, like the way I see it, when I don't even pay attention to that shit. I ain't got time for that. Like life is unfair. Like, fuck you. I got shit to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I can't be doing the things that I'm trying to do if I'm worried about life being unfair.
Right.
Yeah. And at a certain point, like we said, you have to get that moment where you kind of refocus yourself and you make a decision and you're just going to change things. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, recently, you guys can tell that we've made some changes, some decisions. And one of them, I mean, the podcast, we've added some new stuff. You guys can't see it.
No.
But we've added some stuff in here that's going to make it way easier to record and all that kind of stuff, which I'm excited about. And it's going to help you with your spiritual podcast when you do that. I'm excited about that too. The health changes, the signing up for the competitions. Yesterday, we were looking at Harvard business school classes. We're taking a class
on Harvard. At Harvard. No.
We're going to do it. I mean, you helped me with the MIT class, you know, so why not? There was that time that we were in Flagstaff that we were just hanging out, just all of us. And it was like a split second. It wasn't even like I was having like this deep thought, but it was like a split second. And I thought about sleeping in offices in New York and working with my grandmother. And then like recently we've been talking about, like I've talked to you about like my dad that came from Ecuador and came here and was like second place in the world in Taekwondo, but apparently, like I was recently talking to him and he did way more in kickboxing that there's records of that we'll look up, we'll find it. But my grandmother was his trainer. She came out my dad came out in Black Belt magazine. So like for martial artists, that's a big magazine. And he came out in that magazine. They have like the article clipping. There's like articles of my grandmother being my dad's coach and stuff like that.
Yes.
But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, my dad and my grandmother came from Ecuador. They had no business doing that shit, kind of. You know what I mean?
But they did.
And then I came around. And I came from that. And as a kid, like I've shared some of my stories in my life. It wasn't always a normal life. There's a lot of crazy shit that happened. I was working in nightclubs when I was like 12. I worked in nightclubs from like when I was 12 to like when I was like 15 or 16.
Probably why he doesn't like going clubbing. You got it all out early. No.
I lived in New York City. I went to the Air Force. My dad helped me like learn, like I remember one of the first mechanical things that I did was changing brakes with my dad. And even though he's not very mechanical, that's one of the first things that I remember. And I think that kind of was like, that's kind of cool. I think I want to do stuff like that.
Huh.
And then I ended up, I don't know, maybe that's what it was. But that's crazy. That's crazy to even think about.
It's actually...
Like brings it all around.
When you play back the movie of your life, you start to recognize how everything was created.
Right. So after that, growing up with my grandmother and because I spent a lot of time with my grandmother and she used to clean offices in Manhattan. And like on school, maybe not on school nights, but definitely like on a Friday or Saturday, if the work wasn't done during the week, we would go in. And if my grandfather worked in the morning and we went to work and clean offices, my grandfather worked in the morning, his 8-hour day job. And then at night, we would go and clean offices in Manhattan.
Wow.
And if we couldn't get it all done, we would sleep on the floor of the offices. It was like a dermatology office. Imagine fucking trying to open your office and there's just like the fucking cleaning people sleeping on the floor and their kid.
Wow.
So I was thinking about that when we were in Flagstaff. And I think about joining the Air Force and then flying F-16s. or not flying F-16s. I flew an F-16, but that's still pretty fucking cool. And working on Apaches and starting a podcast and us starting a business and now signing up for a jiu-jitsu world tournament. This is the big one that everybody wants to win. Most people don't even compete. And yesterday we're looking up Harvard Business School classes that I'm going to take. And the next one starts October 11th. That's my class. Who the fuck is going to tell me that I can't do something? I mean, look at where I came from. Look at what I've already done. If I want to be a fucking astronaut, I'm going to be a fucking astronaut. But it's not because I can't.
Yeah.
It's because I won't.
It's kind of like, like BNS was like, you are the creator. And there's not one thing that he feels that he can't accomplish.
And one thing that I was talking to Joey about when we were outside working out, and we were talking about the can't and the won't. And I've mentioned it here. Like, I really do believe that for everybody. Like, I don't, there's certain things that, yes, you can't. I can't be 6'4". Like, that's just not going to happen. But there are so many things that we limit ourselves to. And I really believe that, I mean, dude, you see so many like blind black belts in jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. What is your fucking excuse? Why are you holding yourself back? It's crazy.
That's what I coach on. It's all the false beliefs. It's all the stories that you created and that was created through society and everything else that limits you. Yeah. And once the awareness begins, and once you get present with yourself and start to realize how powerful you actually are, that's when everything starts to unfold. But you have to release all the shit. My clients, I don't teach. Everything we do is unlearning. It's unlearning and letting go in order. So you have to take a step back in order to move forward.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty cool.
It is. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, babe.
I love you, man.
I love you too, babe.
You're my samurai.
Yeah, samurais fall off the path sometimes.
We all do.
I'm on the path.
And that's where forgiveness comes into place, right? Being able to forgive yourself.
That's where the humility comes
forward
for others. That's why I can see, kind of like David Goggins, when he talks about like how he was 300 pounds. He knows what people are capable of because he knows where he was at.
Right.
He ran like less than a half a mile and then went and got a chocolate shake in his book. He talks about it. Are you up to that part yet? Because you're listening to it again.
Yes.
Right? And then went and got a chocolate shake.
Right.
It's like, dude, that is not what super athletes do. Right?
Right. But that's what he did.
But that's what any of us would do. So why do you beat yourself up about it?
Yes.
Just forget about that. And today's a new day.
Yes.
You know, and I was talking to Joey about that. Like, I don't know. I think it's just sometimes like I was saying, the limiting beliefs that we have.
Yes.
That I think sometimes if somebody comes to you with an idea of something that they want to do, look at how you respond to their idea.
Yeah.
If you're responding in a way that maybe you feel they can't do it, or that's fucking crazy, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, because I've had people that come up to me, I got an idea for this. And knowing the person, I might have the thought, like, I don't have the thought that's never going to happen. I might have the thought that might be tough. Because I believe that they can do it if they straighten some shit out. But it's going to be tough knowing you, you know?
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that it can't be done. And if you're just like, that's not going to happen, then what do you think about the shit that you believe, like that you would like to do? It's crazy because like dreams are different. Like, what do you dream of? I think for people that don't go for shit, dreams are dreams.
Right.
It's just a dream.
It's a wish.
Because you're not going for it. But I don't really see dreams as like
That's funny you just mentioned that. Because in the way of mastery,
I don't see it as unobtainable.
Yeah.
It's not a dream. I just don't have it yet.
In the way of mastery, that book I'm reading, that's what was said. There's no difference between the dream that you have in your reality, because you can make that dream your reality if you truly want it.
Right.
And he said, there's no difference.
Yep. It's crazy.
And with that,
make sure you guys go to our website.
Miguel.
Opposites Attract Podcast. You guys will sign up for one of my coaching sessions. Go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. You can hit the contact us button. You can send us a question. You can also call us at 480-331-9846 and send us a message. Send us a question. You can be anonymous. You don't have to leave your name or anything. Or if you want, you can say that you want this to be anonymous and I can edit it out or whatever. But we'll answer your question on the show.
Yes. And don't forget, when you go to the website, there's going to be a pop-up window. Be sure to enter in your email, your contact information, so that we have a way to correspond or to connect with you when events come up.
Yeah. Or when I say something crazy and they take down our episodes. So with
that out there.
So with that, thank you guys for listening to the show. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast.
Where we get better
together.
Bye.